So this is my case book on the three forms of direct democracy in California. Of course, the initiative, the recall, and the referendum process. So those are all covered in this case book. The first one that I'm aware of that is specific to California, it's intended, of course, to provide readers with a good understanding of the three forms of direct democracy in this state. First, I examine the initiative, then the referendum, then the recall. I talk about applicable law, and then move into a discussion of relevant court decisions. I've had to look at dozens and dozens, actually a few hundred in the end, particularly as it relates to the initiative. I mean, there are over 100 reported appellate court decisions related to the single subject rule in California. In comparison, the referendum and recall provisions don't have quite as much case law there. I think it was definitely difficult to figure out which of hundreds of cases to utilize because, of course, we're looking for cases to help explain the current state of the law that have good written analysis and all that fun stuff. So I used about 60 cases from California appellate courts, no federal decisions. Again, most of the focus is on the initiative process because it's very widely used in the state and certainly by far has the most case law associated with it. In terms of the initiative, I talk about things and cases related to who and who isn't a proponent and the title and summary, the language being utilized, the fiscal estimate, the power of the people, what happens with competing measures, how it's distinguished from initiative versus a referendum, pre-election challenges, post-election challenges, evaluating a measure's constitutionality. Of course, the famous or infamous single subject rule as it applies to the initiative, compliance or lack thereof with the elections code, interpreting provisions of initiatives, standing to challenge the validity. What about some specialized areas like tax law initiatives? The what you can do by way of amendment versus a revision of the Constitution, ascertaining the intent of the people and the initiative power versus the legislature's power, etc. Then I get into the referendum and talk about that source of the electorate's power, limitations, municipal matters, again, initiative versus referendum, some limitations on it, on the power of the referendum, the role of the legislature, legislative acts versus administrative acts, the purpose of the referendum. And then we turn to the final area, the recall, including the general ministerial function of a recall order, what a yes vote means versus a no vote at a recall election, the issue of the expenses related to recalls, etc. And so those are what's covered in a case book that's about just over 500 pages in length and can obviously be utilized by both law students and college students examining, again, the three forms of the forms of direct democracy found in about 24 states, including obviously California.